Hi everybody, I'm Kathy, and I just wanted to start with this beautiful quote. I have it on a stamp. Life is art. Paint your dreams, sing your songs, enjoy the dance. Isn't that what we're all about? Anyway, enough of the schmaltzy stuff. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through how to make this pretty pocket tag. I made this previously in a video, the pocket tag. I got it from Carol Tinson, Crafty Design Emporium, or Crafty Emporium Designs, rather. And I tried it a little differently today. I'm going to try it using perfect pearls. Those of you that might have perfect pearls but have never used them, I don't know if you can see it, but they have a real shimmer to them. So what I tried to do was use regular ink first and then layered on top the perfect pearls using another stamp. So to start, you're going to need a piece of cardstock. I'm doing it with a lighter color cardstock, and you'll need either two pieces. This is 4.5 by 6.5, and a back piece to make the back of the tag, because this is a pocket tag. Now I've chosen to sew it. You can glue it if you'd like. You don't need to sew it. I'm just going to sew mine though. You're going to need, besides the paper, you're going to need a hole punch. I'm using my Memory Keeper's hole punch. Some sort of ribbon to go through the hole at the top. Glue if you're going to glue it. Otherwise, a sewing machine if you're going to sew it. Then for the most important materials, you're going to need some waterproof ink for the main stamp in the back. And I'm going to use, let's see, I'm going to use one of Tim Holtz's stamps. I think this was Tim Holtz, but I love it. It's a guy on a unicycle carrying a balloon and lots of words. It's kind of grungy. I'm going to use that. And I'm also, let me see if this fits. I'm going to use this, I don't know if you can see it. You'll see it when I stamp it. A Victorian woman. So you need an ink pad and stamp of your choosing, a larger stamp. Then you're going to need perfect pearls. And this is almost like an ink powder. And I'm going to use, I have tons of colors here. If you've never used them, I honestly have had these and not used them because I didn't really know how to use them. I've had them for probably, 7 years, honest to goodness. And they come in all sorts of colors. And what's cool is they're iridescent when they dry. So we're going to use some of those. And in order to use those, you need some sort of a brush. I'm going to use this brush. And you need what's called perfect medium. That's what, it's almost like a glue. It's yucky. It's almost like a glue, and that's what allows the powder to stick onto the paper. And then you need some sort of spritzer with water. I'm using this. You can use any kind of spritzer that you want. And I'm also going to ink the edges, so I'm using some Distress ink. Then probably a pair of scissors in order to cut the diagonals on your tag. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is actually cut the tag shape. In my other ones that I've made, I've waited till the end, and it's much easier if you just do it at the beginning. And what I do is I line them, both pieces together, line them up, and then I fold them in half. I don't crease them. And then I just clip off the corner. And voila. And at this time as well, you can put in your hole to the top piece, whatever your top piece is. And our tag is ready to be made. You can put the back piece aside. Now the first thing you want to do is take your ink out. I've tried this in many ways when I was working on this one. I tried putting the perfect pearls down at the bottom and then stamping on top of it. It didn't work as well. So this time I tried stamping first and then putting the perfect pearls on top, and it works. It kind of looks very cool. It kind of just looks, I don't know, it's just kind of ghostly, weird looking. I love it. Makes beautiful, the perfect pearls makes beautiful backgrounds. Okay, so let's see. Let's try the woman first. I haven't used her, and I don't know where my my acrylic stamp holder thingamabubber is, the big one. And this is a big stamp, so I'm just going to press it down. And you know, sometimes people take their stamp pad and rub it on it. I usually do it this way because this is such a big ink pad. Press it really well because this has a lot of detail, and I do want it to show through when I put the perfect pearls on it. So we'll see if it'll do that. And we're going to go right in the middle and press it down really well. I hope everybody's doing well amidst all this craziness and staying healthy. Okay, that worked pretty well. And the nice thing about these permanent inks, they dry, as you can see on my hands, they dry immediately. Okay, now let's decide the background stamp. Now I'm using this wonderful, I love it. This is the background stamp I'm choosing to use. This happens to be kind of like an old shabby Victorian or any kind of city block in a you know, old New York or Philadelphia, someplace like that. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to put the perfect medium on top of it, just all over. Like I said, what I'm essentially doing is I am putting glue on it. Of course, you can't use regular glue because, you know, they want you to buy perfect medium. But I am going to try to figure out what kind of glue I could use. And I'm going to have to lift this up a bit. You kind of have to lift it up to make sure it's getting on it. And I'm doing this because this is getting low and it's not over the edge in order to get onto it, get onto the stamp. How many of you are taking the time, had to take time off from work if you're working? Although I'm retired, I still work part-time. I do some training, educational training, and I'm kind of excited I got time off to really be retired. Okay. And I think I got enough on. So you can't really tell. You kind of have to hold it up to the light and make sure it got on there. Then you take this, and I'm going to turn this sideways. It'll be a little easier. And I'm going to put this right over the top. and press it down. Just like that. I'm so excited I figured out how to do this. I actually watched a video, Simon Hurley, and that helped me figure out how to do this. So in the background, I'm going to use some blue. This is pretty. And these are all by Ranger. You can go to ranger.com, I believe, and purchase these. And I'm going to actually use, I think I'm going to just use blue, and that's it. So what you want to do is you want to stick your dry brush in, and then I tap it out in the lid so I don't have too much on it. And then with circular motions, and I know it's going to be hard for you to see, circular motions, I'm going and picking up that glue. And I can tell that it's looks like a city block behind the woman. I'm going to put more over here. And even though it looks like just a bunch of swirls right now, when we're done, you'll be able to see the images. Okay. I can close this up. And I'm going to actually brush this off. It's much more forgiving than embossing. And you see, well, I'll hold it up in a minute. I don't know if you can see. There's a very pearlescent image. It looks like it's behind the woman. And in order to set it, I don't know if you can see. Let me see if you can see. You can see kind of an image of a building's behind her when I put it up to the light. Very cool. And then to set it, what you want to do is with your spritzer or spray bottle, you don't want to spray directly on the image. What you want to do is spray to the side and kind of let it slightly get onto the image. And what that does, that sets the powders in place. And then what I like to do, I'm going to set that aside for a minute. You can't really put these back in the little container like you do with embossing powders because they adhere too much to your surface. So I'm just going to clean this off. And then I'm going to get my heat gun, and I'm just doing this to speed up the process. You don't have to use this. And you'll notice when you use a heat gun, the paper will curl up. What you always want to do is turn it over and put the heat gun on the back, and that will flatten it out again. Just like that. Okay? So cool. And then what you want to do is glue the sides. I'm going to take it to my machine very quickly. And there's our finished pocket, except for a little bit of ribbon in the top. And Of course I didn't bring the ribbon. So let me get a piece of ribbon. Okay. And with this, I wouldn't add anything else to this. I wouldn't do any collaging or anything since I'm using the stamp. I'm actually going to leave it simple, just like this. Of course, you can do whatever you'd like. Cut that off at a diagonal. Okay, I want to show you one more, or maybe two more. We'll put this aside. This is the first one I made. And this time, I want to use some different colors in it. So we're going to start out again. I'm going to take two cards, back to back, cut off the corner to make a tag. Oh, get that mess out of the way. Punch a hole in the front. Oh, you know what we didn't do? I'm sorry, I wanted to ink this up on the edges. Yes, really quickly, because I know I'll forget. And you see I didn't line it up, but that's okay. Kind of looks like the edges were brown or aged. And let's get it in there. Okie doke. Sorry about that. And there you have your pocket. Okay, let's go back to this one. So I have my hole punched. I'm going to set the back aside. And this time, I'm going to use this guy with the balloon. And I do have a little acrylic that I'm going to use. I do have a big one somewhere, but I don't know. It's somewhere. Make sure I get everything in. Okay. And I'm going to put this over to the side a little bit this time. I haven't tried this with other color inks. It probably should be a darker color ink so it shows up. There you go. And it's like that in the middle anyway. So I'm going to use the same background that I used, I think. Oh, you know what? Let me use, yeah, no, I'm going to use the same background, I think. Let me see if I have handy. I had a very cool postage one. Excuse me 1 second. There it is. Okie doke. Let's try this one. This is like a layout of, I don't think it has the picture on the back, a layout of postcards and such. So I'm going to try this one. First thing we do is put on the perfect medium. And this time I'm really pushing it up to meet the ink, because I noticed in the first one we made, it really did not have enough glue on it, because this glue pad is getting old. I probably could put it on with maybe a brush or something. They do sell perfect medium. They sell, I think they sell pens with it in it too, so you could write with it, which might be very cool. And you could also, if you have letter stamps, you could also put this on, just like this, on your letters, and then use the perfect pearls to just highlight your letters. And it's very pretty. It's really pretty if you use it on a dark, like black background, if you're not inking anything, if you're not using a regular stamp with it, then you can really see it show up. And I think I got everything. Maybe I didn't get this too well. Okay, hopefully I have enough on there. And we're just gonna flip it over and put it on top. And this one I'm going to try different colors with, see how that works. I'm gonna get it off my hands. It comes off your hands very easily. Even though it sets on the card with water, it comes off your hands with water. Okay, so I'm going to try some green this time. I'm going to try some orange, or whatever color this is. Mandarin, it's called. I'm going to try this pretty perfect gold, it's called. And let's see, maybe this copper color, perfect bronze, it's called. I'm going to use these colors. Again, I'm going to start by putting it on my brush. And then this time I'm going to try just to get within, I'm going to put the different colors within each type of postcard or whatever is here. And let's try the green. And we have green. It doesn't matter if you mix it. It'll actually make a really pretty color. And I'm going to put another green up here. And I'm going to go to the orange or mandarin. I'm just going to put that up here. This is so much fun, by the way. You have to try these things. And then I'm going to go to this. This was bronze, I believe. I'm going to go over here with the bronze. Oh, I love the bronze. And then I'm going to go with bronze down here as well. Over the little man. Let me go with the orange up here. And then we'll end up with this perfect gold. And put the perfect gold down here. Okay. So I'm going to brush off. What's nice, you get just such a faint color of pearlescent, but you can see it in the background. It's very fun. It's like a reveal at the end. Like it's magic. I really love using these. Okay, now I'm going to close these up before I add water. And probably, this is what I should do, is I should probably blend it a little as they meet each other. So it doesn't look, it really look like a line. And blend it coming down. It's cool. You can really see the different aspects of the stamp. And it would actually even be better. My ink pad is running out. Let me get that off too. But it just has this pearlescence of the stamp. It's so cool. Okay, let me put the inks away so they don't get wet when I spritz it. And now it just looks like you could just go like this. Well, I could. If I had another container to save kind of a mishmash, there is a way to save it, I think. And I'm going to wipe this down. This is a Teflon mat. I got it for my iron, my Cricut. What do you call those things? Easy Press? But they sell it like in the, usually where they sell ironing supplies, like in Joann's and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to take the spritzer and I'm just going to hold it to the side, if I can find the hole, just like that. And that's all you want to do, is kind of run it through the water. Take my heat gun and just speed up the process. And you don't have to do this with the heat gun. And line it up with the other. Isn't that cool? And I'm going to sew it very quickly. And voila. Cut that off. Cool. I think it looks better in person than it does on the video, but you have to try it. You will be very excited. Now you could do this, you know, I happen to like grungy stuff. You could do it with flowers, a flower stamp in the background, or an animal and then flowers in the background, like a forest or something, a garden. And then, of course, I need a ribbon. Let me see if I have something that would match. I don't really, but I'll use this one. And I'll use this green one. There. Okie doke. Well, thank you for joining me. I hope you learned something and are inspired to do this. If you already have perfect pearls and perfect medium, I'm not a spokesperson for these. But I think you have to buy these like in a pack of like 4. You know, they come with pretty colors. They come with like, one comes with gold, bronze, probably the brownish one. And the others, some of them come with a brush in them as well. Okay, well, listen, you guys, you have a good day, because I want you all to stay healthy. I'm trying to stay healthy, and I hope you enjoyed this. Have a good day. Bye-bye.